I was watching an interview with Styles P, and he was talking about as far as the food that we consume in our communities. And he basically went on a rant just talking about, and then he used the analogy like, you know, we be talking that we got to be ready for war, but the way that we're eating and the things that we put in our body, we wouldn't be able to go 5 minutes, you know, if a battle or a war really happened in our community. How do you feel about the food consumption, the things that we're buying and putting in our body, specifically for those that live in the urban community?
For one, I saw the interview and I thought that was a real insightful interview. I know Styles P personally, and he really is like a health junkie. He's really like he really talks walks that walk. And I don't eat clean per se, but I agree with what he's saying, because like I went vegan for 4 months. And I saw the difference, and even like my body, I felt better. I had more energy. I was sleeping better and all that. But I was just like so attracted to chicken, like I couldn't help myself. But it's the truth. But the thing about it is, now a hamburger is from an animal, right or wrong? A steak is from an animal. A chicken is from an animal, correct? I say that to say this. How the hell is a salad cost more than a fucking hamburger? To eat good, and when me and my wife, like we were buying these foods and we were going to Whole Foods and all these healthy places, it's super expensive. It's super expensive to eat clean. A salad costs more. If you go in any fast food restaurant like down here, just the green salads and all that is $8.99, and a burger is $3.99. Chicken wings is $5.99. Stuff like that.
Nah, but all right, so that is true. But let's talk to. There's a demographic out there that they live off of Chinese food in the hood. Let's just say that. Let's deal with that real quick.
Okay.
There is food options, healthier food options that we can buy at that same Chinese food store that cost the same amount of money.
Like what you're saying, like a broccoli and just like saying like just a broccoli and like a veggie platter opposed to chicken and broccoli.
Yeah, like
shrimp and broccoli.
Exactly.
Okay, I agree with that. It makes sense.
Okay, so
but it's more or less to what Styles P was saying. He's 100% right. Our community is not eating correctly, and on the return end, a lot of young people is dying from cancer. A lot of people, things that our people wasn't dying from, like in the 70s, 60s, and 80s. The children are, and I just lost 3 friends last month from cancer, and they were all my age, 40-something years old.
They say it's proven that this is the first generation, these kids, that are going to die before their parents.
I believe that.
We got, in our communities, you got people drinking soda first thing in the morning, eating a big ass bag of potato chips, drinking like 2 cups of soda, 2 cans of soda, first thing in the morning.
Pizza Hut. I can't.
You can't get some. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about why we're eating the way we're eating.
When I was vegetarian, right? Like I said, I felt better. I was eating better, and I can just give you my experience from that. And the only education I would say, like, there's this show called What the Health on Netflix.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It's a very good show and it's informative. I would tell people to start with that.
Turn right onto North Layton Street.
Okay. Like, I would tell people to start with the What the Health show, just to get an idea of why the stuff we're consuming is not good. Like, a lot of processed foods, like Frank's and the processed meats, like cold cuts and all that, That a lot of that stuff is coming from that, and fish.
Quarter mile, turn left onto
A lot of
Street.
fish eat, like say for instance, right, in the sea, big fish eats littler fish, right, smaller fish.
Right.
So this double the mercury count. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of the mercury that's in the fish now. Tell me to make a turn on this.
In 500 feet, turn left onto Bourne Street
it's
Northwest.
high. The levels are high.
Next left onto Bourne
So,
Street Northwest.
Like the fish, now the chickens are being shot up with
Turn left onto Georgia 20 West.
MSG and steroids to make them bigger and grow faster. So
Turn left onto Georgia 20
what
West.
I'm saying is when you
Drive.
watch that show, it'll give you some informative information, education on what we're actually consuming.
Okay.
So
And
when you say what I would tell people to start with that. Since I'm not like a doctor or anything, so I would say to check that show out.
all right.
Just like the casual person that doesn't know and want to eat cleaner and stuff like that, I would say look at that documentary. I mean, look at that and then try to transition into eating better.
All right, so I like that, and I did see that documentary. It's very, very informative. I'm glad you brought that up. That is a very something good we need to watch. Now, let's stay at the Chinese place, the Chinese store in the hood.
Okay.
So, I want to bust a myth here because
a myth. That
crab that we order at the Chinese food
that's
store,
not crab. That's imitation crab.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We don't know that. We think it's crab.
Yeah, that's not crab. That's not crab at all. That's imitation crab. But I know that from knowing how to cook. See, a lot of people are just food consumers. They don't really, a lot of people eat out. Like this is the generation of eating out and fast food and, not cooking home cooked meals or fresh vegetables and things of that nature. So a lot of people don't know what they're eating. You're 100% correct.
All right, now, why was it important for you to not just say vegetables, but you said fresh vegetables? Are you talking about how we boil it down and season it all the way and then there's no nutrients in it? Like we need to have it where it's still a little crisp?
That's a part of it, but then there's another part of it where, you can go to a farmer's market and get your vegetables and your food, like where it's organic and it's probably just got picked yesterday or today. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's a fresh vegetable opposed to a vegetable that's been in Pathmark and people don't put their hands on it for fucking 7 days. Are you buying lettuce with yellow in it or green? Red that's molding. They're going to still sell it.
Do you wash your vegetables?
Of course I wash my vegetables. I wash my chicken. Like, you gotta wash all your food. Do you know, like, the meat? Have you ever been in, like, a supermarket and you saw meat and it was marked down?
Uh-huh.
Like, the price was considerably lower than what's on the tag?
Mm-hmm.
You don't eat that. You know why it's marked down, right?
Because it probably ain't good.
It's been there. That's the steak everyone passed on. Or it just didn't sell. So that's the meat you don't want. You don't buy meat from the 99-cent store. You see what I'm saying? They have steaks in there. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you buy those steaks?
Why don't you buy food from the dollar store?
I don't buy food from the dollar store. I buy.
Why not?
Because it's not good food. I just explained to you. It's old. It's older food sold at a considerably low price.
No food.
I'm not buying no steaks. I'm not buying no chicken. I'm not buying any of that from the 90s.
No egg rolls. No pizza.
Brother, food. I'll buy a soda. I'll buy like utensils, things from the 99-cent store that I'm not have to cook or anything. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unperishables.
All right, so let's go to your store real quick. Your favorite store, and that
Walmart.
you and your wife talked about is Walmart.
Yep.
Do you buy food from Walmart?
Yeah, we buy food from Walmart.
Okay, I do too. Now, do you? With that being said, you were just talking about the upper echelon of buying healthy food. You're talking about Whole Foods. You're talking about Trader Joe's. I'm an advocate that you can buy some really good, healthy, vegan, vegetarian food from Walmart.
Of course you can. The same.
You don't have to go to Whole Foods.
Whole Food is in Walmart. It's just a lower variety.
Right. So I think that's another option we need to share with people as well. It's like, yo, Walmart.
Have you ever
to go to Whole Foods? If you can't afford Whole Foods to feed your family, feel free to go to Walmart. They got the same type of good stuff there at a reasonable price. It's not the better quality as Whole Foods and Trader Joe's they have, but there's levels to it. We're just trying to challenge you and encourage you guys to be conscious of the things that you're putting in your body.
Right. And that's why, again, I said, first and foremost, they have to get educated on what they're consuming and then know that it's bad. And then,
600 feet,
and then, like you said, you can buy stuff out of Walmart, and you can, and when you go to restaurants, you can eat clean. But the situation is that you have to first be educated on, you know, what does it do to you, and you know, like how to cook the food. Because most of the time when we cook vegetables, we take all the nutrients out.
You've arrived.
Another imitation thing,
So-
and then we could.
When
All right, it was a delay there. All right, so another
Yeah.
imitation thing is the cheese. You know, I just realized this probably about 7 years ago. There's imitation cheese, and it actually says imitation on it, but it's right next to the regular cheese. You know that, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's the
Okay.
cheese that don't melt. It doesn't melt.
We need to look at that too. If you guys didn't know that, like I didn't know that until about 7 years ago. Like, yo, you might be buying, and the price isn't really that big of a difference. But that imitation stuff is really not good for us. So pay attention to y'all cheese too.
Again, that's a form of putting something in the supermarkets that's cheap, and that's what people will gravitate to, because they'll make it's not that the price is not that much considerably lower, but you see something for $5.95 and then $1.99, you tend to go on with the $1.99.
I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. This is the Billionaire Brown experience. Let's go.